if you have to outline the basic fundamentals of TKA for achieving a happy knee, is to achieve desired functional alignment, accurate implant positioning, balance gaps, adequate soft tissue tensioning, and preservation of periarticular soft tissue tension. We have been studying about coronal plane balancing and various alignment philosophies extensively, but sagittal balancing have been often ignored or less studied. So what does that mean? It is defined as relative equality of extension and flexion gap, heights or laxity medially and laterally, and the gap targets typically aim for equal gaps with physiological medial stability and controlled lateral laxity. So robotic had made this possible to objectively quantify the gaps intraoperatively. We can see the graph at the bottom which shows slightly laxer on the lateral side and tighter on the medial side. So why does sagittal balance matters? So over tight gaps causes stiffness, loose gaps causes instability, asymmetrical gaps causes implant wear, and ultimately everything causes dissatisfaction and increased revision rates. So the core concept is flexion gap is a combined effect of femoral flexion and tibial slope. Each degree is controllable, and sagittal plane has been associated with difference in tibial slope, posterior condyle upside, and distal and posterior condyle resection and thickness. So the goal is not just balance, but control asymmetry to recreate medial pivot behavior. We can see the native knee biomechanics, which achieves rotation in the medial compartment and rotation and translatory movements in the lateral compartment. So what is the effect of increasing femoral flexion in TKA? It tightens the flexion space, as we can see in the diagram. So with every 2 degree of additional femoral flexion causes 1 millimeter decrease in femoral flexion, and this ultimately causes increase in tight gap, decreasing the flexion space and tightening the gaps. So what is the effect of posterior tibial slope change? So increasing the slope causes increase in flexion gap, increases femoral rollback, decreases PCL tension, it decreases quadriceps demand. In other way, it increases efficiency of quadriceps. It also increases instability risk if it is increased excessively. Also, other effects, it shifts contact points posteriorly and reduces patellofemoral contact forces by approximately 1.5% per degree during walking. Reverse happens when decreasing the tibial slope. It increases PCL strain, tightens flexion gap, and may limit range of motion. So how can this femoral flexion and tibial slope affect various scenarios? So if it is tight in extension, we can increase the tibial slope. If it's tight in flexion, we can increase tibial slope or decrease femoral flexion. If it's loose in flexion, we can increase femoral flexion, decrease tibial slope, and ultimately achieve a balanced knee. So the take home is sagittal plane is a powerful lever. Flexion gap is engineered and not discovered. Every 1 degree causes predictable change. Smaller changes causes big impact. Bone first balancing philosophy, and robotics improves precision and reproducibility. Thank you.